Hey y'all, it's Zion. Today I'm here with Grace Ogunmodede, and we're just going to be gaining some insight on what it's like to be a content creator and a college student. So, like, is this thing on?
By myself, sugar spice, and I'm nice. Show me what you're made of. Crazy, sexy, cool, baby, with
Introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Grace Ogunmodede. I'm a senior information systems major here at Morgan State. I'll be graduating and I'm also a content creator as well.
Awesome. Okay, what made you start vlogging in the first place? And were you confident when you started, or did you have to grow into it?
I would say my environment made me start vlogging and creating in the first place. I started off as a social media manager in high school for different organizations, clubs, and I kind of just grew a love for videos and editing and just sharing my experience and then providing value through my experience. So that's how I started. In terms of confidence and just being sure of myself when I started creating, I didn't initially have confidence. I wasn't always doing talking videos or voiceovers. It started off with mainly aesthetic type of content, but I grew into it as I saw other creators speaking and as I practiced as well.
How would you describe your brand or personality as a creator?
I would describe my brand and personality as a creator as raw and authentic, because I encourage people to speak up even if their voice shakes, to post without permission from others or others' opinions and thoughts and judgments. And I'm so passionate about people not shrinking and finding their voice. So I hope my audience sees that through my content. I hope they feel that through my energy, because it's all about showing up as your real and authentic self to live a fulfilling life and have fulfilling content for people to see.
What helped you grow your audience the most early on, and what are some mistakes you made when starting out?
What helps me grow my audience early on is utilizing my environment and my identity and my story. So I just focused on being a woman, a college student, a girl at Morgan State University, living in Baltimore, Maryland, being from here. And I used that to build community and to find others in my community that were doing the same thing or believed in the same things I was doing. Early on, I think one of the hardest things of starting, or one thing I struggled with, was finding that middle ground between where I was and where I wanted to be. And sometimes you kind of push to be like what you aren't yet. And so it's a very frustrating place to be in that middle. So for me, it was extremely important to enjoy the journey of becoming and understand that it takes time and that I have to give myself grace to grow, right? So, yeah.
What does a typical day or week look like for you?
A typical day in my life looks like waking up early, praying, going to the gym, and then I go to work. I work as a resident assistant here at Morgan State. And then it also looks like scripting, doing schoolwork, sometimes going out with my friends, trying new places in the city, and just, having a good time, and then winding down and getting started to the next day.
How long does it usually take you to plan, film, and edit one video? And what part of the process do you enjoy the most versus the least?
My process when it comes to content creation definitely varies, but it can take hours to even minutes sometimes. It just depends on the type of video, whether it is a vlog or it is a short talking video. But my favorite part of my process is really my ideation. Just thinking and creating my ideas. I like to write them all down in my notes, and over a long period of time I then get into scripting. That's also one of my favorite parts, because being able to get all my thoughts down onto paper is so helpful for me and keeps me organized. My least favorite part is definitely the editing, because it can take hours. It can take so much time when you're trying to pull the story together and convey it in a way that is meaningful to your audience. So that can be like my least favorite part, but nonetheless it's all rewarding.
What are your top 3 tips for someone who wants to start vlogging?
My top 3 tips for someone who wants to start vlogging: number 1, act like the camera's not even there. Just do what you normally do and just say, I'm putting a camera up. Don't even think it's there, because once you realize it's there, you start to overthink and you start to overperform, and that's not the goal. The second tip I would have is speak up even when your voice shakes. Don't be afraid to use your voice. I always say that when people finally see you when they finally hear you. So you need to use your voice to your advantage because it's your power. It gives you so much opportunity and it connects you to people authentically. And lastly, I would say practice. You have to put in the reps to get better. Success doesn't happen overnight because you have to build that consistency, you have to build that trust in your audience, and you have to build that discipline in yourself in order to learn how to create something beautiful and something that is meaningful to your audience.
How do you balance schoolwork with creating content, and do you plan your content around your school schedule?
Here's the truth, there is no balance. There is no balance. You just have to manage your time and prioritize well. I believe that it's really important to know if you want something to really go at it. I kind of put off content creating the first 2 years of college, and now I've really honed into it and seen a lot of growth. But it's because I decided that, you know what, this is something I want really bad enough, so I'm gonna put in the work to achieve that thing. And I do my content around my schoolwork because school is a big priority for me. And as I mentioned earlier, I am a graduating senior, so I gotta go. But it's really important for me to manage my time and make sure my priorities are in check. If I have an assignment due but I want to post a video tomorrow, I have to post that assignment. I have to do that assignment first. So it's really just, seeing where your priorities lie and kind of managing your time and also asking for help when you need it.
How do you avoid burnout? Have you ever felt like quitting? What keeps you going?
I avoid burnout by properly preparing. One of my favorite quotes is, preparation eliminates pressure. And so you won't have a pressure to burn out or feel like you're about to burn out if you're properly preparing, properly going to sleep on time, eating well, making sure that your inside feels good so you can look good on the outside and perform well on the outside. I felt like quitting multiple times, especially when it gets hard, especially when I feel like I'm not balancing properly or I'm not showing up for myself and the people I love the most. I would say that's exactly what keeps me going. The fact that I want to make my family proud. I want my siblings to have a good role model. I want my community to feel like they have a woman they can lean on and trust and look to for guidance. So that's what keeps me going. And also just the fact that I know that, God would be so proud of me if I were just to lock in and do what I need to do and, fulfill purpose and just fulfill destiny, essentially. So that's really important to me. And I always just tell myself, what if it does work out?
Do you ever feel pressure to keep up with trends or numbers? And have you ever felt like you had to change yourself to get more views?
I would definitely say that every content creator feels that pressure at some point, especially because you want to see the numbers and you want to do well, but it becomes unfulfilling when you are not rooted, when you are not strong in your values, and when you're not grounded. You lose sight of yourself, you lose sight of the plot, right? And it's so important to always remember that your authenticity is your superpower. Your authenticity, aesthetics are cool, but authenticity converts, right? Your story, who you are, what you've been through, your pain points, that's what's going to get people to turn into viewers, into followers, right? And so, yes, I've had that pressure, I felt that pressure, but being reminded of what my values are, what my morals are, what I'm willing to do and not to do, that's what normally keeps me grounded and what keeps me sane in all of it. And just knowing that my authenticity is my superpower, and the more I hone in on that, the more everything will work out for me in due time.
How has being a content creator affected your relationships or social life?
Being a content creator has affected my relationships and social... What?
How has being a content creator affected your relationships or social life?
Being a content creator has affected my social life and relationships in many different ways, both good and bad. I would say that it's definitely helped me connect with more people, see who's aligned with my values and my beliefs, and who, is possibly a good friend or someone I can, learn from. And it's also, caused people to be weird sometimes, especially because my page has really grown in the last couple of months. You can see who's supporting you, who's not supporting you. Who started with you, essentially. And it's really just important at this point to have discernment, and really at all points to have discernment of who's really for you, because not everyone is your target audience. Not everybody's your cup of tea, right? So it's really important to identify who's actually for you and not just for you from what they can get from you, right? So yeah.
What kind of impact do you want your content to have on viewers?
The type of impact I want my content to have on viewers is an impact that leaves them inspired to not just keep watching, but start doing something, right? My goal is for people to take action through what I say, to be inspired, to believe that they can do it and believe that they can become something, right? And to just become the best version of themselves. So that's the impact I hope it leaves.
What does success as a creator mean to you?
Success as a creator means to me helping at least one person. And that's also what keeps me sane, because one can be obsessed and almost get overwhelmed by whether your views are doing good, whether you're getting a lot of engagement or interaction. But it's really important that if I can just help one person, because I truly do believe that the moment you step into your purpose, your destiny, what you're supposed to be doing in this life, it's actually attached to someone else. It's actually meant to help someone else, right? Because I do believe that my purpose is to serve. So if I can just help one person, that's what success looks like to me.
Where do you see your content going in the future, and do you want to turn this into a career?
That's a great question. I see my content blowing up. Millions of followers, lots of reach, and just it being a space for women and everyone to just be themselves and become who exactly they were meant to be. I do want to turn this into a career because I know it's possible, and I know that it can change my life and the lives of those around me, my family's life, my community, my friends. So yes, I want to turn this into a career, and it will become a career for me. And, just one of them. Just, one of those things that's really gonna, yeah.
Thank you so much for letting me interview you for my class. Please let the people know where we can follow you.
You can follow me on all social media platforms, so Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and Facebook, all on at the Grace Ogunmodede.
Thank you.
Of course.
By myself, sugar, spice,